So, in today's episode, we'll be talking with Hassan Issak. He's a young 15-year-old entrepreneur who's actively learning how to do business. And this episode will actually be split up into two pieces. The first half will be me interviewing him, and the second part will actually be him asking me a series of questions on how he can improve his business. And you'll be seeing that episode in the following week. But let's go ahead and get started. Onto the pod. Welcome to Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur, Hassan. Tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us a little bit about you, and I guess how old you are and where you got started with your phone reselling business as well as phone repair business.
All right. So my name is Hassan Issak. I go by Hassan Mindset online. I'm a 15-year-old entrepreneur, just documenting my entrepreneur journey with my personal brand, my e-commerce store, EasyPhxne, which we just rebranded to about a week ago, and collection repair center, which we're also rebranding to from Map Wireless, which is our in-person location about phone repair, phone accessories, and phones.
So how did you get started in the business? Because normally when you think of a 15-year-old, they're in high school, they're just figuring themselves out. And how did you get involved in this business?
So actually, a lot of it comes from my father. My father has been in this business since 2010.
Got it.
And ever since I was kind of pretty young, I would come around on the weekends and stuff like that, and just kind of chill there or whatever, just play on my phone. And then slowly I started, might like help out like one customer a day or something like that, and then I just started getting hooked on the business. Once COVID hit around there, I would start coming a bit more often because I had nothing to do. So, it slowly started kind of building up, and then about 2 years ago I started coming full-time on the weekends. So I would be there around like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would just come and help out and stuff like that, get my school done, and then now this is where I'm at. I'm working at the store full-time now.
Got it. So your dad was running this business,
Yes.
and your dad would bring you along. You would basically learn how the business worked, and just walk us through the timeline. So COVID was about 4 years ago at this point. So it was 2020. You were what, 11, 12?
Something like that.
Wow, that's very, very young. That reminds me of my young days. Because in my youth, what I was doing was I was actually doing a lot of crazy things. One of which was when I was much younger, I used to sell homework. And, just to make money in high school or in middle school, whatever it was, I would sell. We used to have engineering classes back in the day. I don't know if they still have them now. But we would have like classes for AutoCAD and things like that. And strangely enough, I figured out, okay, if I can go ahead and sell the AutoCAD homework, which is all electronic. So basically you're creating like CAD files. Do you know what CAD is? Let me explain it real quick. So CAD is basically computer-aided design. So like somebody had to design this mic in a computer program in order for it to be a product, right? They had to create a wireframe. And then from there, they had to design the internal components to fit inside of it. And then they had to figure out, oh, this is the size of the silicon board and the controllers and all the other stuff that goes inside of it to make it work and function like a mic, right? So that's what CAD or computer-aided design is. And when you're using AutoCAD, you're usually creating diagrams for electronics or even physical products like a wrench or a table, for example, right?
Wow.
So you can use Autodesk Revit and a couple other tools. I think nowadays it's a combination of all the tools combined, but back in the days it used to be called Autodesk or AutoCAD.
You would do that in high school?
I would do that in ninth grade, so I was probably 14 or 15 years old, so similar to your age.
Yeah.
And what was interesting about that time for me was I would sell it for $5 a pop. So I had roughly 40 to 50 students per period. There were 8 periods in a day, I believe. So if you multiply it out, 60 kids, 8 periods, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Times $5. It wouldn't be everybody, but I would get a big chunk of people.
Especially for a 14-year-old.
Oh, yeah. And then at the end of the year, well, it only lasted for 6 months, but it was enough for me to like walk away with thousands of dollars in my pocket. And my parents would be like, okay, where did you get this money from? What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's my story of being an entrepreneur when I was younger. But coming back to your story, I mean, that's not very common, right? Where you have a young kid, maybe 10, 11, 12 years of age, that's actively being involved in business at a very young age. Now, I guess what are your thoughts about business in general? What drives you to business? What makes it like something you want to do?
So fairly enough, it's because like mainly when I started working at such a young age, I'd see how kind of like how my father would keep doing it.
Hmm.
He would basically just go every single day. He would, no matter what, he was keep pushing. So I guess that at a younger age, that started rubbing off on me. I mean, I was still a normal kid for the most part. I would play my
Okay.
video games and all that, but I slowly, the older I got and the more, I guess, mature that I got,
Hmm.
I started picking up more and more on his work ethic. So, that, and then, also a little bit when you're like kind of like scrolling through, I guess,
Hmm.
TikTok or whatever, you start seeing these, self improvement videos and all that.
Of course.
So I started kind of, mixing a bit into that. But for the most part, I mean, I feel like a lot of people my age are trying to, I guess, get money somehow.
Yeah.
So I guess with business, this is my form of trying to get a job or getting money in
So
a
in
sense.
you're in high school still right now.
Yes,
Do
I
you
am.
have plans or ambitions to go to college, or do you plan on not going to college? Like, what are your ideas and
I
thoughts?
do plan on going to college, inshallah.
Okay.
And then, going the same route as kind of like how everyone does it
Hmm.
with with still, being engaged in business and all that.
Got it. So, is there any particular focus you want to, anything you want to focus on
Um,
particularly? I mean, because there's so many aspects of business, right?
yeah.
You can go from marketing to sales, to IT or management information systems, computer. Well, you can even say like
Yeah.
computer science to a degree, like
Yeah.
or programming or maybe Python, whatever it is. You can go into finance. You can go into general management. You can go into HR. There's so many different
You're
facets of
right.
business.
Yeah.
Is there any particular one that actually you find interesting? Is sales interesting to you, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of people will actually make a lot of money in their lifetime. If they can master the skill of sales and marketing, that's where you can have almost the sky is the limit, as many people say, but there is a theoretical limit, right? It
100%.
might be like 500,000. It might be more depending on how high ticket of an item you sell.
100%. Yeah.
Whereas phone and phone accessories, it's low ticket, so you need to do high volume.
Yeah.
So now you learn a lesson in business here, which is like, okay, I can put in the same amount of work for a low ticket item versus a high ticket item. I actually probably might have less work to do in the high ticket item, right? Because I'm still spending about the same amount of time, but I can sell that at a higher frequency or higher volume, and therefore I can make more money,
Yep.
right? So it's just a trick of the trade, or I guess
Yeah.
an idea or concept that if younger people understood, I think could make a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, if I sell something that's worth $5,000 versus something that's 20, and I'm spending the same amount of time,
Yeah.
big difference, right?
100%.
So I guess what direction do you want to take this business? Is this a business you want to take over from your dad? What are the intentions, I guess, that you plan on, or the direction you want to take the business?
So, I guess mainly I'm starting to work on a couple other things.
Okay,
I still obviously want to keep going with the business,
got
but
it. When you say you're working on a couple other things, what are you working on?
yeah, I was actually just about to get to
Sure.
that. So I did start up a marketing business in May of 2024,
Okay.
and it's called Viral Visions. Basically, we do local marketing and also social media marketing. I'm just kind of starting out on it and working on a couple things to develop it, like the website and stuff.
Mashallah.
But we're doing local marketing, social media
So
marketing,
do you have any
and
clients or
then
customers as of right now?
I was working on it, but then I started slowing down on it. So, but I do not at the moment have any
So
clients.
outside of the marketing company, what else do you got going on?
I have school. I
Okay,
guess.
so you got school, and then you have
and
the cell phone repair
Yes, and then
stuff, right?
and then I also have Halal Hustlers, which is my community of
Okay.
like-minded Muslim brothers
So where
trying
can
to.
we find the community? Where is it?
So right now we are on Instagram and YouTube.
Got it.
We actually have our first career workshop next Friday at Dar Arqam Institute.
Mashallah.
And we have a speaker called Brother. His name is Brother Mubin Siddiqui.
Okay.
He's been in cybersecurity and also business analysis for over 25 years,
Mashallah.
and is a youth mentor and also a self defense instructor.
Wow, mashallah. So you have a bunch of different things. But I guess let's rewind for just a
Yeah.
second, and I want to understand, how did you establish this community? Number one, and number two, how did you know to establish like a workshop to get more people into the community? Because that's probably that's what
Yeah.
you were thinking about doing.
Yeah.
So maybe you can talk about that a
That's a
little
great
bit more.
question. So I was actually this last Ramadan, I
Mm-hmm.
was in itikaf with a brother named Mirza, and I'm sure you probably met him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
last night actually,
Mm-hmm.
but or no,
A couple days
a
ago.
couple days ago. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So we were in itikaf, and then it was like 3, 4 in the morning. We were just talking, and then we had the idea of how can we bring the mainly like the local Muslim community, because there's a big Muslim community in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
together, and all the like-minded brothers and stuff like that, just to grow and self-improvement and be the best version of ourselves possible. So right now we did launch our Discord server, but we've been on WhatsApp mainly, and our WhatsApp is a private WhatsApp at the moment, but our Discord server is a public Discord server, and the link is actually in our Instagram bio.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about it.
Got
So,
it. So, how long ago did you start the community on Discord?
Discord August 1st was our release date.
Oh, so it
It was
hasn't
really
even been a
recent.
full month
Yeah, it
yet.
hasn't really been a full
Got
month
it. So
since
how
the
many
Discord.
How many people do you have on the Discord server?
Our Discord server, it's starting out a bit slow, but it has like I think 5 members.
So, wow, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
still a start, right?
For sure.
Everybody started at 0. We can all get to that point where we're at the first 50,
Yeah.
first 100, first 1,000, first even, who knows, a million, right?
And then our WhatsApp has about 50 members right
So,
now.
wow, that's awesome.
Since June, I believe.
So, how are you growing the communities themselves?
So we're mainly going off of social media posts and word of mouth. We're trying our best to kind of make sure the people that we include in the community are actually, striving Muslim brothers that are actually trying to grow.
Got it.
And, we want to make sure all the members are engaged members.
Got it.
So
So, how do you vet them?
So I can repeat
So how do you vet them? So like you're essentially, in order to get them into the community, you have to qualify them. That's
Yeah.
vetting, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, how do you confirm that, hey, they are a business person, or they're trying to achieve this? Or what's your criteria for accepting a person, right? Because you want to maintain a high quality for the group,
100%.
right?
So a lot of the things that we do is we kind of, a lot of the people are people that we kind of already know in a sense. So, we already kind of had like a little bit brotherhood going on with Najm Institute and our weekly youth circles and stuff. So we know a lot of the people, because a lot of them would come to these events.
Got it.
And then we know, like, kind of they're already on like kind of like a self-improvement or something like that. But, it kind of like you can kind of, I think, go off of the person's schedule, see how they're going about their days, and exactly like what they're working on. For example, if they're in college, and what their major is, and if they're actually like people that might seem to be on top of it, on top of what they're doing. And if we don't have much of an idea of the person, we kind of just go off of, like, we ask them a couple questions, kind of get a better idea of the person and stuff like that.
So here's another question that comes in my mind. With the Discord community, what's your goal with that? Is it to continue growing it and then add courses or like free material for people to use? Or like, what's the end goal with the Discord server?
So the end goal is kind of to maintain the Discord server as a place of resources. Our WhatsApp already has, is everyone's dropping resources every day. So we're trying our best to keep, basically keep more and more information going in it, so that it just doesn't feel like a group chat. But we do plan on, having weekly classes. Basically, like, for example, one week might be like a sales class, and next week might be, a class on Islamic knowledge and, stuff based around that.
It sounds very similar to my idea, what I have for Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur, because
Yeah.
one of the ideas that we had was, okay, let's set up a school community.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard of School, it's run by Alex Ramosi and Sam Ovens. And the idea behind it is that we establish like courses on Islamic finance, how to do marketing from an Islamic perspective, how to do accounting from a Muslim's perspective, how to manage debt, if there is debt, to eliminate any debt, and a couple other topics underneath, right? Because not a lot of people talk about that subject matter, or they don't even think of, okay, how do I integrate Islam into business, right? Because people usually separate the two, because that's what America's taught us.
Yeah.
Separate church and state, right? That idea or concept is like separate business from religion. And for the Muslim, it's actually one together because it's a whole system of life. And most people don't think about that. So when people are like running their gas stations and things like that, it's like, okay, the Muslims will happily criticize, but they won't actually come and say, okay, what's a possible solution to get this person from here to a better position overall? And that's what we as the Muslims probably need to do.
Yeah,
But that's
100%.
just an idea that we were floating around for Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur. And inshallah ta'ala, that will be the case in due time.
Inshallah.
I'm probably growing at a clip of about 20,000 views almost every couple of days now.
That's great.
So now the goal
Inshallah.
is, hey, how do we get it to 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 5 million subscribers, even
Yeah.
a billion subscribers? That'd be crazy. But inshallah ta'ala, we'll see
Inshallah.
if I continue to go down this path for the next 10, 15 years of my life. It could be the case. That'd be crazy though.
Yeah.
Like a show that's going on for 15 years,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
But then that means that I get to interview you over and over again. I get to see your progression in terms of you as an entrepreneur as well. And then even connect with people who might be interested in doing business with you.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Because I remember when we were at the MTC event. So MTC is the Muslim Tech Collaborative,
Yeah.
for those who are listening to the pod.
Wait, which one?
So
The first one or the one a couple days ago?
that was just a meet and greet, but the first one where we were at Ilm Academy, where we were talking
Yeah.
about all of our basically like our
Business.
our businesses, right?
Yeah.
And advertising it to a degree, and like, hey, this is what we're doing for the Muslim Ummah to a degree, right? Because Friday, which is one of the entities that actually sponsored that event, along with the Muslim Tech Collaborative, the intention behind that was to get people who are of like minds in one room, right? Get them to collaborate, get them to invest into one another, get them to grow one another, right? And I guess I want to lead this conversation a little bit more in that direction, which is what questions do you have about your own business? Because you're relatively fresh in business.
100%. Yeah.
Where do you think the business overall needs help, right? Number one. And number two, I guess one of the things that comes to my mind is, are you focusing on too much? Do you feel like you're overwhelmed?
Yeah, those are great questions. So I guess let me start off on the first one on how I feel about it. And honestly, it's, I guess since I've grown to love it at such a young age, kind of like, it's kind of like, I guess, how people feel about video games. Like they enjoy video games and they actually like to do it on their fun time. It's kind of the same way for me because, I get to kind of experiment and see what I like to do. And then, so honestly, I enjoy it personally. And I think that, for the most part, it's been something that like, kind of like, like, I guess coming in every day and seeing, like trying out something new or something like that is something that I really enjoy. So, but
So when you say you're trying something new, what do you mean by that? Are you trying new marketing techniques? Are you trying new ways of selling? What are you trying new that's different every time, or
So-
every time you go into the shop?
So, I mean, mainly like, I focus on how to grow a lot of the customer base and stuff, because in Clarkston, there's actually a lot of residents that live there. There's tens of thousands. So, bringing, trying to find out different techniques and different strategies to try bringing even like 100 of those residents in is like, kind of, I guess, is something that I just enjoy doing for the most
So
part.
give me an example of how you do that.
okay,
Like,
yeah.
describe a strategy. to me.
Okay. So, I have to think. So there might be like, like local marketing strategies. Like, for example, what is it, yard signs and stuff. Like, different yard signs, where I would put those yard signs, or, flyers or something like that. Or even like one way would be like, with social media. I've been trying to jump back into our social media recently because, I started focusing a lot more on the sales aspect of the store for some time. So I just kind of ended up dropping social media, which I actually don't recommend anybody doing
So when you
because
say you jump into sales, technically social media would be part of
yeah,
sales too, right? Part of
yeah,
your sales strategy. So when you say you're jumping back into sales, you mean like sales physically at the
yeah,
store?
physical sales at the store.
Got it. Okay.
So I would focus on that, but and then put less time towards the social media. But I feel like like one thing that I came to realize that if you don't build a brand on social media around your company, then you're missing out on so many opportunities. So
So
yeah,
here's another question. Sorry for
no,
interrupting
you're
you
good.
there. Question I have here is when you're advertising or posting on social media, are you just doing organic posts or paid advertising?
Right now, we're focusing a lot more on organic posting. We're trying to push towards ads, but we're not in, I guess, the space right now to do ads.
Well, how much budget do you typically have? Like, if you were to do social
Hmm.
media, and like your dad was paying you,
Yeah.
how much money would you dedicate towards paid advertising, like the budget for the actual advertising itself?
Um, I have to think. I haven't put much towards that right now. I haven't put much towards like thought much.
So
Much thought
let me
towards
give
that.
you a perspective
Yeah.
from my side of things. So you probably already know I have a Scoville hot chicken. I used to have two actually. I shut one of them down. We initially started doing ads at about 10 to 20 bucks a day. So that would mean 10 bucks a day for 30 days is $300, right?
Hmm.
20 bucks a day comes out to 600.
Yeah.
30
You're right.
comes out to 900 and so on and so on and so on. We found out the more we actually spend in ads, we started small, 10 bucks a day, and then we bumped it up to 15, then we bumped it up to 20, then we now I think we're on average we're spending somewhere in the neighborhood of around 40 to 100 bucks a day in ads. And the reason we needed to do that was because we realized, oh, wait, or not organic, but paid advertising gives us far bigger reach than organic posts,
100%.
right?
I agree.
And organic posts, you have to build that with time. And if you don't have a lot of time, paid advertising is that shortcut, right? Because then if you're gonna graph it out, sort of, if you're familiar with mathematical graphs, if you have a x and y axis and the curve is very very low and then it
Yeah.
hockey sticks up, that means it takes a long time for me to actually capture any real profit over time.
100%.
With advertising, what happens is the curve inverts. It actually increases my awareness, more people come to me, and then as a result, my growth curve is up here rather than down here.
We've experimented with a couple Facebook ads a couple times, and we put the daily budget at like 30 bucks or something like that, and it was doing pretty decent. But
How many variations of ads were you running?
I think um not sure too
So were you
much.
just creating an ad and just putting it up there,
It would
or
be
were you doing a
mainly
bunch of A/B testing as
my
well?
little brother was the one that was mainly making those ads.
Got it.
He's about a year younger than me.
Okay.
He's currently at the shop right now, but he was the one that was kind of putting a lot of the ads out there and stuff like that on Facebook. And then we did run a couple ads maybe 2 months ago, but that was for our online store. And I guess we saw people coming in on the site, but then they weren't buying anything. So
So did you figure out why that conversion issue was happening?
we honestly, I was gonna like, so I took time. I actually was looking at the site for some time, and then I realized that it was because it kind of didn't look I guess like a place where it was like the products were accessible.
Hmm.
It So I kind of fixed it around and stuff like that, and then
When
we're
you say the
planning
products weren't accessible, what do you mean by
like
that? Like out of stock or like?
no. So if I go on the site right now,
Mhm.
um, where you could find the products, I guess, wasn't as easy. Like now, you can see like screen protectors, Samsungs, and iPhone accessories and stuff like that. But then all we had before was just this, where you could, shop all or whatever.
Got it. So is this a Shopify store? It
Yeah,
looks like one.
yeah, it is a
Yeah.
Shopify store.
Got it. So you're funneling everything through Shopify. Are you putting the ads directly to the Shopify store itself?
Um,
Or is it going to the Facebook page?
to be honest, I don't work on any ads, so
Got
my
it.
brother does all the ads and stuff like that. And if we're making any videos, he actually comes up to me.
Okay, so
And
you're
then,
making the videos, the actual
yeah.
content that's used to drive people.
The video contents, yes.
Got it.
I'm the one that's recording the content, and then he's the one that's, I guess, making, like, if there's like a script, or if there's like an idea or something like that. The ideas are normally his for the most part.
Got it. Okay, cool. Mashallah, that's amazing. So it's not just you, your dad, but it's also your brother. So
Yeah.
total 3 guys.
Um,
Or are there more?
just I mean, there's him, my other brother, and then my other older brother. Kind of like working all together with like repairs, helping customers, stuff like that. So we're trying to keep it as like instead
Family-owned
of
business.
exactly.
So mom and pop. But is the goal to like eventually scale it up to something big? Like, I don't know how much you guys are doing in top line. How long has the business been active?
2010.
So it's been up and running for about 14 years.
Yeah.
Then. So it has a pretty steady customer base, probably.
Yeah, for the most part, because
How many customers do you normally see in a day?
not sure. I
Just
I
give
don't
a rough
remember.
idea.
Yeah.
50 people, 100 people, 150, 200 people that actually
I
order
wouldn't
from you.
know. Like, I literally would not know. Like, it's because like I just see like so many faces, and then there's also times where like I'm so busy where I'm not looking at anything. So
course.
like it's like such a mixture. Like, for example, I might come in at 10 a.m. I might help people for like 30 minutes to an hour. Then after that, I'm gonna go away in my my little office or whatever. I'm gonna go work for a couple hours. Then it's so like mixed, I guess.
Hey there, listeners. I hope you're enjoying this episode of Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you for being here. Now, here's something surprising. Did you know that over 95% of the people watching or listening right now aren't actually subscribed? Isn't that so crazy? That means for every 1,000 of you who are watching this, 950 of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribing is super simple. Just hit the notification bell down below. It makes a huge difference here for the team at Dome. When you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, you're helping us grow, which means we can bring in bigger and more inspiring guests, and guests who can answer some of the questions that you might actually have. It allows us to produce higher quality videos and make the show the best it can possibly be. The more support we get, the more we can give back to you with even better content. And here's something special. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway for a brand new set of 2nd-gen Apple AirPods Pro that are right in my hands right now. So if you wanted to want a chance to win and help us hit that milestone, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it, engage in the comments down below, and follow us on Instagram. You'll find all the links right down in the show notes. If you're really enjoying the show, consider becoming a sponsor of the show. Your support directly helps us keep these powerful stories coming and allow you even to reach a community of like-minded Muslims and entrepreneurs. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, engage in the comments down below, follow us on Instagram, wherever you find your podcast, and leave us a review. And maybe you'll be the lucky winner of those AirPods Pro. Now let's get back on to the show. So then walk me through what a typical day would look like if you're at the shop in a day.
Okay, so
Or during the summer maybe when you don't have school.
So a typical day would be I would come in. We open around 9:30 to 10 o'clock every day, and I would come in, and then I would kind of just obviously start opening up and stuff like that, and then if anyone, so I take over a lot of the front end stuff from about the mornings, like about 1 to 2 hours in the morning. After that, I go to my little office. I work on my online store, a little bit of my marketing agency, and my personal brand. And then after that, I do a bit of schoolwork, and then after that, I guess I get into managing a lot of the back end stuff for the store.
So when you say back end, are you talking
like
about
inventory?
Accounting? Okay, inventory.
Inventory and stuff like that. And then I guess that's what a lot of my day just looks like.
So then how do you connect the online store with the in-store? Are you reflecting the inventories on Shopify that you have in store, or is that completely separate from the in-store activities altogether?
So the inventory is the same inventory, but the numbers are different. So we kind of have like a limit that we put on the Shopify, so that because we might, end up, overselling it, I guess, and we want to maintain the inventory that
Why
we
not
have.
oversell and just
I
say,
mean,
hey, I can ship it to you a little later,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's kind of what we do.
Hmm.
So, because, a lot of people tend to buy more in store than online.
Of course.
So that's kind of like, because, sometimes, for example, I might not sell a screen protector for an iPhone 11 for some time.
Hmm.
So I don't want to have like, too much inventory in there. And then, I'm not going to be able to find that screen protector once, like, my vendor might not have the inventory in stock
Hmm.
because they might run out or something.
Got it. Okay. So I guess here's a good question. How much of your online sales contribute to your overall top line? So do you know what that means?
Can you elaborate real
Okay, so
quick?
yeah, sure, no worries. So have you ever, when you're running a business, you have a profit and loss statement.
Yeah.
That profit and loss statement has a couple different things. You have your top line sales, so that means like if I have a screen protector, right? Maybe I buy it for $10. I turn around and I sell it for 20, right? So my top line sales are 20, my cost of goods are 10, my gross profit is $10, right? And then out of that $10, I'm gonna go ahead and take out electricity, water, gas, any sort of other expenses that I have, and then I'll have what's known as earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So this is what's known as a P&L, a profit and loss statement. So my question here was more so, okay, your online sales, how much of that top line percentage is it? Is it 10% of your overall sales? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? Is it 50%? Because like for us in the restaurant space, it's about now around 50% of my total top line sales. That means 50% of my sales actually are all online and 50% are in store.
So I'd say probably the top line sales for our online store compared to our in store would be good, maybe 20%.
So 20% of your sales
Yeah.
actually come from the store, online store itself, would you say?
Something like that, around like
Okay.
10, 15, 20, around there.
Okay.
But majority, because also at the same time, we have monthly recurring customers
Mm-hmm.
that basically pay their phone bills and stuff like that at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of have more repeating customers come in because a lot of our customer base is like immigrants, stuff like that. And a lot
Got
of
it.
them aren't really like, they don't know too much about tech and technology. Besides that, if they know a bit about technology, stuff like that, and on online shopping, what they're gonna buy off is Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I mean, for the most part, they don't.
So here's a good question
Yeah,
actually that comes to my mind is how do you compete with Amazon? Because that's a big elephant in the room in your business,
yeah.
right? Where Amazon sells screen protectors, they sell all other kinds of products.
They sell everything that we sell.
Yeah, absolutely. So then how is your product or how is your service differentiated from Amazon's other than the in-person aspect?
That's a really great question, and honestly, we just kind of we're working on TikTok Shop actually because I feel like with TikTok Shop we're gonna be able to get our name out there compared to our website because everyone knows Amazon. And if you, for example, go on TikTok Shop and you say I'm gonna sell an iPhone charger for $5, then even though Amazon already sells it for around that price, then they're gonna be more inclined to it because they saw a video of someone promoting it.
Hmm.
So you actually gave me this advice a couple of days
Yeah.
ago to do I remember it, but what is it? With micro influencers,
Yeah, yeah. But going out, reaching
affiliate,
out
yeah.
to micro influencers and giving them an affiliate link
Yes.
from your Shopify store. So then that way all the sales can actually be tracked.
Yeah.
There's usually an add-on in the Shopify platform
Mm-hmm.
itself. You can create like an affiliate link system through that. And once you have that, you can basically tell the influencer, hey, any sort of sales you do or get for us, we'll give you 5, 10, 15% of total top line sales. So if you sell something for, let's say, $10 and we give them 15%, we give them $1.50, right? Even though it may cost us $10 or $5. So then now your net profit margin would be $3.50.
But it's still better because
Yeah, because you're getting the sale and you're getting the
Exactly.
volume that you need in order to cover
yes,
your operating expenses on your P&L.
yeah,
Yeah, your operating expenses would be labor,
yeah,
electricity, water, gas, and I don't know what else you guys would have typically, because your cost of goods would be just the screen protectors and probably the cases, I'm guessing, right?
mm-hmm.
And your website costs and maybe accounting fees. Your
Mm.
business is relatively simple
Yeah,
from that aspect.
for the most part, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the expenses would be towards our in-person store,
Mhm.
then our online store. Online store really just runs really easy and simple because
It's all
we already have
online.
the inventory and
It's easy to sell a product. Actually, in a way, it's having an online store is like having a secondary presence, right? It allows you to grow your business in a way that your in-store could not do, right? Because you're driving traffic to that online source that people can buy from you, right? Now, the reason people would come online and buy from you is because they trust you in some way, shape, or form, or you've built a brand strong enough where people would be inclined to buy from you, whether it's through UGC, user-generated content, or through affiliate marketing, or even organic marketing that you're doing.
One thing that actually started helping boosting my sales was building my personal brand. So
Mhm.
recently, I've actually been working a lot on my personal brand. I made a YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and a lot of stuff based on an entrepreneur journey. And I make it very transparent that I'm not a guru or anything like that. I'm just documenting myself,
Mhm.
and it's helped because a lot of people, they see your brand as, oh, EasyPhxne, and they see, oh, you might be connected to it. But if I'm posting it on my Hassan Mindset page,
Mhm.
then I'm posting that I'm doing this, I'm
You're
doing that.
self-promoting your own products,
Exactly, I'm
right?
self-promoting my own product. So that's why I'm always very heavy on saying, build a personal brand, because nowadays people connect more with personal brands than they do with actual brands.
That is very true, actually. I mean, you'll notice this even in the YouTuber space. Like Peter McKinnon has a product of his own. Graham Stephan,
Even if you look at Prime.
yeah, Prime, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
exact same concept or idea, right? Logan had the distribution, right? Because he already had the YouTubers and Twitter
Yeah.
followers and everything else. And same thing with KSI by partnering with this particular product, which is low dollar value technically,
Yeah.
but they can do high volume. And it's a recurring revenue because people buy it over and over
In their
and over
first
again.
year, they surpassed I think 8 figures or something like
Yep,
that.
yep. But that's not the case with phone
Yeah,
products, right? Because it's
100%
not
not.
recurring unless it breaks or something happens to it.
Yeah.
So, what are your, I guess, goals or aspirations, and how do you find a recurring product within that niche or space?
We actually, with the AirPods that we're also transparent about, we don't sell Apple AirPods, but the quality is actually really I actually have it right here. But the quality is almost basically 1-to-1.
Wow.
And it doesn't light up or anything like that. It doesn't have any Apple logos on the boxing. It doesn't have any Apple logos anywhere, but it's a 1-to-1 basically. And we're transparent on that on our website. But people actually lose their AirPods so easily. I don't know how many times I've lost this one, but we sell it for $35. And then sometimes we run promotions 50% off or something like that. And people, they just buy it. Yesterday, I had someone come in, and I think she already bought a screen protector from Amazon or something like that. I applied it for her, then I just sold her the AirPods. And then she came back 30 minutes later. I thought she was going to come return it, but then actually she ended up buying another pair of AirPods for her sister. So, people, they see the price and then they see how it is, and Apple already kind of basically did the marketing for me because they're so expensive. And then, so people just end up keep buying more and more for their family, their friends, and everything because it's so
easy to lose.
so
in
easy
a
to
way,
lose and cheap for them in a sense because of the price.
See, I would not be a good customer for that. All my stuff I hold on to very well.
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't know. So does this use a Lightning connector or USB-C?
Lightning connector.
Oh, so it's actually using the same connector that.
The Pro 2 was using. We tried the USB-C ones for the Pro 2s, but then we were experiencing a lot of malfunctions with it, and it wouldn't connect properly and stuff like that. And then also, it would pop up as some random device. It also had a noise where the I guess fake earbuds or something like that. They would say Bluetooth connected or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ours don't normally, but then that Pro 2 would say Bluetooth connected or your device is connected or something like that. And then, you know, people are kind of,
Like
they're weirded out by it, I guess. So we decided to just switch back to Lightning connector. That's what's been working best for us for the past couple of years. And yeah, alhamdulillah, everything's going great with the AirPods, I guess.
Got it. So what are your actual aspirations? Do you want to continue running this, or do you want to, I guess, run the marketing agency? Let's dive into the marketing agency a little bit. How many customers do you currently have for the marketing agency?
So at the moment, I did have some clients the first couple months, but then so my time started shrinking up, I guess, a little bit. And then I decided that once a certain month ended, I was going to kind of pause on the marketing agency because I wasn't getting too much from it because I'm kind of new on the field, I guess. And, you know, I can't come out of nowhere and just say, oh, I need $500 a month or something like that. Because small businesses wouldn't be inclined to spending that much money without knowing what they're going to get back.
So you didn't create like a actual plan or I guess like a service menu, like, oh, this is what we can offer at this price. This is what we can offer at this price. This is what we can offer at this price.
I tried it a lot, but you know, a lot of things did come into the factor of like not being able to go with it right now, because like so right now this whole past summer. I was basically kind of working alone in a sense, because my father was out of the country and stuff like that. So I felt like I was doing a lot of this work with small businesses. So I would go to the small businesses and I would talk to them because a cold call, I was cold calling for some time, but cold calling, I feel like a lot of people aren't inclined to a cold call.
I mean, when you're in person, yeah, I would say so too. I've noticed at least whenever you're dealing with that kind of a business, when you're starting it up,
the conversion rate.
The conversion ratio is going to be horrible, right? Because nobody knows you. A, B, the only way you can get market presence is by building that social media presence or brand, like you were mentioning. And the one way to shortcut it is that the way how people used to build businesses back in the day, which is like door knocking or going to them in person.
So that's what I tried that, and then I actually did close a couple deals, but that would be so low ticket because no one knows me.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you take the low ticket offer anyways? Because the thing is, you're still learning, you're still delivering something, you're still generating revenue, which is actually more than 99% of the people out there who are running a business, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the ways that I actually test out if a business is going to work for me is I go on my LinkedIn and because I have about 8,000 plus followers, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, and let's say, well, we're thinking of doing a financial modeling business. Would you pay for these kind of services? Right?
That's a great way to go.
Right? Because then that way I don't have to test it out myself. I can get a small, quick enough sample size within a week that says yes or no. And then from there, I can make a decision. Oh, does it make sense to pursue this or no? With Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur, it was interesting because there were a lot of people who were saying, Daniel, we need this so badly, right? There weren't a lot of people talking about Islamic entrepreneurship or integrating Islam into business,
100%.
right? So it's like this is something unique or a unique offering that can be given to the Muslim Ummah at large. Plus, it's also getting free game, right?
Of course.
So in that way, it's unique and fun for me because then I can connect interesting people together and I can make the business even more viable, right? I can offer coaching services if I really want to.
I was seeing this one individual, I don't know his name, but he was posting, he goes, so what he does is he basically goes up to entrepreneurs, millionaires, stuff like that. He just goes up and he's like, have you ever been broke before? I don't know if you've seen it or
the
not.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks, yeah. He would go up and stuff like that. And now he was able to build a community off of that because he met so many millionaires and billionaires. So, you know, he has the resources. He also has all the game and he blew up and everything. But, you know, he has, I think, weekly classes and his community is just like $37 to join. So it's like...
And that was actually one of the ideas with Diary of a Muslim Entrepreneur. We initially have a free to join community, and then the paid community would be something like, $50 a month.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a little bit of the vision we're going with Halal Hustlers, because if we want to build first our reputation.
Yeah.
We want everyone to know us. We want everyone to know what we're doing.
It's almost like you have to give away the stuff for free.
Exactly.
In order for people to finally trust you and build that level of trust within the community. And then from there, you can translate 10%, maybe 5% of that audience into the paid audience, right?
Yeah.
Because what else are they going to be getting? They're going to get one-to-one direct access to you. Usually, they'll get some additional courses that they would never get, and maybe a couple other things that you wouldn't offer in the free side. It's similar to what we're doing on the Islamic financing side of things, at least for Dome.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, I feel like the vision that you have right now for Dome is actually great, mashallah. And
There's a much bigger vision than what I've told
yeah, I
you,
mean,
but
what I've seen so far, like you know, the podcast, and you know how you seem to be going about it. From
I mean, you see me posting almost every day if you're following me on social.
I just followed you on Instagram like right before I got here. So. But I did see it, and I am subscribed to the YouTube channel.